Hey guys, it's a full play podcast here, and today we will be talking about the college football playoffs, what happened last night, and teams to look out for in the up and coming season. So, we'll start with the playoffs here. So we had Clemson Notre Dame, which I believe Clemson was about a 12 or 13, like somewhere in that neighborhood. It was like a 12 or 13 point underdog. Notre Dame was a 12 or 13 point underdog. But it ended up being not even close. It ended up being a 27 point blowout by Clemson. They took Notre Dame, held them to 3 points. I mean, it started good in the beginning. It was 3-3, and there was no, high-powered offenses going. But then the Clemson offense started rolling and took things over and completely demolished Notre Dame. And so that was Cotton Bowl. Now if we go to the Orange Bowl, we have Alabama and Oklahoma. So these two teams, Alabama was a 15 or 6, or Oklahoma was a 15 or 16 point underdog. And it ended up being closer than the other game. It was very nice, high scoring. It ended up being an 11 point win by Alabama. They were able to hold them off. They were at one point winning, I believe, 28-10, and so that worked. And then, so now teams to look out for and why to look out for them. We'll start off with one of my picks that I really think can make a top 10 appearance next year. If you go to the game of West Virginia and Syracuse, I believe that Syracuse, coming off of a 10-win season here, I believe they can start becoming a more franchised college football program, because the West Virginia Mountaineers, you can make the argument that their starting quarterback declared for the draft, so you're not really gonna get what you want, and West Virginia's not gonna be as good. But the way the Syracuse offense conducted themselves, they put up 34 points. Now, I'm 90% sure that the defense of West Virginia did not have people declaring. So it's either the defense is so-so for West Virginia, or the Syracuse is good, but Eric Dungy threw for 300 yards and threw 2 picks. So it's not like the defense wasn't present. It's just Syracuse has a nice, solid program that they can build on and get wins with next season, more than 10, I believe. All right. So let's go to the next team. Another team that I believe in more or less is Texas. And so Texas has Texas has a game against Georgia coming up, and they're a solid team. They beat Oklahoma. They had they did have a crazy amount of eye-popping losses. Just one that scares me is a 5-point loss against Maryland week 1. But when you look at these week 1, there's no growth. You can't really chart that. So they were only a 3-loss team going into the SEC championship. So that when you see them in the Sugar Bowl, they're up against Georgia, who is an incredible team, and I believe should probably be in the playoffs if it wasn't for their loss, for their 2 losses. If they had only one, they would, without doubt, be in over Oklahoma, and they would have beaten Alabama yesterday. But you can't compare that because they weren't in. And so, the last team I want to talk about, and this might be surprising, they're mostly known for their basketball, but Kentucky, they went into the SEC championship game. They put effort in this year. They were top 15 ranked, and I believe they can win their bowl game against Penn State. So now, but Kentucky, the one thing that kind of stands out is they're 1 week they score 24 points in regulation, and then they score 20. It's they have these weird scoring droughts. They scored 7 against Tennessee, and then the next week they scored 34, and then they scored 56 against Louisville. So the offense is not, it's so up and down. And a 17-point loss to Georgia is not bad. I believe if they can work out their little kinks and make their offense steadier, then they can be probably the same spot, because they did do very good this year. But I believe they can put things to work and get it to work. I would keep the program rolling and try to build on this. This was only a 3-loss season, I believe. Yeah, it was only a 3-loss season. So, and that's including the loss to Georgia. I believe Kentucky has a very good future as long as they just stick with it, and because you're not going to come out. I believe Kentucky was unranked last year. You're not going to come out and just push your way all the way into the college football championship. I mean, honestly, when I saw Kentucky in the top 25, you get surprised, and sometimes you actually think it's in basketball, because that's what Kentucky's known for. All right, that's gonna do it for me. This was Full Play Podcast, and I will see you after the national championship. And if any big stories, I'll be following college football all the way through the off season. So, thank you, and have a good day.